Hello everyone, I am Mr. Doge. See you again, friends. I had a great time in India. I have integrated into the world's largest democracy. What a proud thing. Dog's Janata Party welcomed some new members yesterday. Especially my new friend Miss Baki Karma. She took me to visit New Delhi. It is such a magical city, much more interesting than China.
Mr. Doge, are you saying that India is better than China? Can your owner, Mr. Hunzi, accept this view?
Yes, Mr. Hunzi is my owner. But I am now the chairman of DJP, the leader of the emerging political party in the world's largest democracy. And Mr. Hunzi is just a YouTuber. He is completely unable to adapt to this great country of India. On the first day in New Delhi, he squatted on the toilet for 5 hours and has returned to China. I miss him very much, but I need to be strong. Miss Baki Karma will be my life secretary. I will now devote my energy to Indian political issues and lead DJP to glory.
Mr. Doge, Mr. Hunzi has made many videos mocking India, saying that India is the dirtiest country on earth. As the leader of DJP, what do you think about this?
Unfortunately, my master lives in an authoritarian country. In China, everyone has to abide by various rules, otherwise they will be punished. Even dogs are no exception. In China, there is no right to defecate anywhere, which is a naked insult to human rights and dog rights. But India is completely different. As a great democratic country, I can see cows, sheep, dogs, and even many humans defecating everywhere in New Delhi. What a magical place it is. I feel unprecedented freedom. When I passed a telephone pole, I lifted my hind legs and urinated. It felt really great. In China, if I dared to do this, Mr. Hunzi would beat me up. God, authoritarian countries are terrible. When Mr. Hunzi first arrived in New Delhi, he kept complaining to me that the whole city was full of the smell of shit. This is extremely disrespectful to Indian culture. Every country has its own characteristics, and Indians just like this smell. If he can't adapt, he can just leave India. I just like this smell. It's amazing. In China, I thought my nose was broken. After coming to India, I found myself reborn. I remember that near the hotel where I stayed, there were 25 kinds of feces smell in the air, and 31 kinds of urine smell. Oh my God, life in a democratic country is so colorful. Even the air is different. This is definitely a dog paradise. If DJP wins the election, I will propose a constitutional amendment to write free defecation into the Constitution as a basic right of citizens. Looking around the world, only India respects human rights and dog rights the most.
Mr. Doge, most countries are critical of defecation in public. Canadians have fiercely criticized Indian immigrants for pooping on the beach on social media. What do you think about this?
Canada is a barbaric country. It does not have a civilization history of thousands of years like India, and does not understand the culture of free defecation in India at all. Canadian whites killed most of the indigenous people and drove the survivors to remote reservations. Now they have the audacity to slander Indian immigrants. What right do they have to do this? If I am elected Prime Minister of India, I will immigrate 40 million people to Canada so that I can vote for an Indian as Prime Minister of Canada. I will establish the barred union to replace the Commonwealth. Include Australia and New Zealand in the barred union. These countries that do not respect basic human rights and basic dog rights have no right to criticize India. Their ancestors were thieves and robbers. They plundered a lot of wealth in India and occupied North America and Australia. Now they pretend to be human rights defenders. It's ridiculous.
Mr. Doge, your obsession with shit is really shocking. Have you forgotten all the rules taught to you by China after just one day in India?
This lady, you are Chinese, right? I understand your feelings, but you will never understand the joy of free defecation. I know that China is vigorously promoting the new energy industry and advocating the use of green energy. In India, solar energy and wind energy are far behind China. But we have countless cow dung, sheep dung, and various kinds of feces, which are all good clean fuels. We, DJP, will regard feces as an important core energy source. Give full play to India's feces production capacity and build a feces energy industry. In the future, India's cars, trains, ships, and even airplanes can be driven by feces, which is clean and environmentally friendly. China's inability to adapt to the smell of feces is a major disadvantage, which will cause China to be far behind India in the field of feces energy. To be honest, no country in the world can challenge India in the new energy track of feces. This will become India's core industry, greatly increase GDP, and create countless jobs.
Mr. Doge, Napoleon once said that China is a sleeping lion, and when it wakes up, the whole world will tremble. Some Chinese netizens say that India is a sleeping maggot, and when it wakes up, the whole world will be disgusted. What do you think?
I must emphasize that I, Mr. Doge, would rather be a free maggot than a despotic lion. Chinese lady, you will be banned from DJP's press conference forever.
Mr. Doge, Jaishankar said that India has no intention of de-dollarization. What do you think of this?
Jaishankar is a coward. He, like his master Modi, has disgraced India. Wall Street is shorting India and making huge profits. Modi's good friend Adani was wantonly insulted by the US government, but Modi was powerless. Such a weak party actually claims that Bharat is revived, and no one knows what they are reviving. Why can't India de-dollarize? Will it sit back and watch the United States reap India through the dollar? Will it wait for the financial monsters on Wall Street to stir up trouble in India? Is India still a sovereign country? If the dollar is so important, just abolish the rupee.
Mr. Doge, Trump once again threatened to increase tariffs on India. What do you think?
Trump is also a clown, but he forgot his identity. India is the largest democracy in the world, and the United States is only second. So Modi is the world's #1 clown, and Trump can only be second. He increased tariffs on India, and India should fight back in kind. However, this shows that the lies of BJP have been exposed. They have always boasted that they are good friends of the United States and are willing to be pawns of the United States. Let the soldiers confront the Chinese in the cold Himalayas, consuming a lot of supplies. India has also banned a large number of Chinese apps and cut off direct flights with China. This has led to India being blocked by China, and even Shield machines are not allowed to be sold to India. In theory, we should be rewarded with dog food for being watchdogs for the Americans. When I was in China, I knew a German Shepherd. Its daily job was to bark at strangers passing by the yard, and its owner would provide it with a steady stream of bones. As for us Indians, we serve as watchdogs for the Americans. Not only without any reward, but also humiliated. Is there such a way to make friends in the world? What makes me even more angry is that Trump actually invited Xi Jinping, a dictator, to visit the United States, but ignored Modi, the leader of a democratic country. It can be seen that in the eyes of Americans, Modi is not even as good as a watchdog. Therefore, BJP and Modi should step down and let me, the real dog, take power. And India's international status will be effectively improved. Since the Americans don't give India bones, we can get a lot of bones by getting along with China in a friendly manner. I am really angry. This press conference is over. See you next time.